Cappies, and welcome to the Talking Capybara, a weekly audiobook review curated by me, Inday, where I give my personal take on the variety of books I have in my Kindle and the lessons I have learned from them. I spent some time this week diving into a few gems on my Kindle, and I can't wait to share them with you. From thought provoking nonfiction to immersive fiction, I'll be breaking down what resonated with me, what made me pause, and the little nuggets of wisdom I picked up along the way. Whether you're here to discover your next read or just to enjoy some honest reflections on books, I've got you covered. So grab a cup of your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's talk about books. It's the first week of February, and it is just right to kick off this month's episodes with a thrilling, knee-jerker, and intense book. From the genre which I like the most, our book for this week is The Housemaid by Freida Mcfadden. The Housemaid is a popular psychological thriller focusing on themes of abuse, manipulation, and revenge. I'm not exactly sure when I developed the fascination for thrillers. Maybe it was during the time when I was so full of academic works that I needed an escape and that I needed my brain to feel light. Because with thrillers, I find myself not thinking about too much. I feel chill. By chill, I mean both literally and figuratively when I read or watch thrillers. Or maybe the love for thrillers was already in my system and was just waiting to be unleashed. I just needed the right books in the right time. And now, with The Housemaid, I found myself both in that position where I am chill, but at the same time I'm thinking, and it was so good when I first read the book that I've finished it in one sitting. The story is told through shifting perspectives from Millie and down to another perspective with that of Nina. Millie is a woman with a criminal past and wants to start fresh. Millie actually is fresh out of prison and is living on parole, and she wants to have a job for the people to realize that she can do it, that she can be out there and living on her own and not commit any untoward actions. And so she managed to look into the job listing of Nina. Nina is a rich woman living in a luxurious home, a very pretty luxurious home. And for Millie, it was a good start. The pay is good. When she first met Nina, she realized that she's kind, she's nice, and that the job is perfect for her. Everything was set up eventually. And for Millie, she was thinking that, oh, this is not for her, actually. When Nina gets or think of her much deeper, she would soon realize that she is a murderer. Millie actually got into prison because she killed a person. So when Nina called Millie for the job, Millie was so erratic. Millie was very happy, and that she thinks that this is the key for her to be out in the wild, to be happy. Nina initially seems kind, but eventually becomes erratic, demanding, and cruel. She imposed a lot of things towards Millie, and she often leaves the house in disarray, and Millie cleans it. And Millie realizes that, oh, this woman might be crazy because of what she is doing. Sometimes she would blame Millie over things that Millie didn't even do. And for Millie, it's actually very scary because she's thinking that maybe the actions of Nina would result to her being um pushed out of the job, or that will lead her to prison again. So that was what Millie was thinking. And then mm, it just so happened that Nina has this charming husband that almost all people were gushing about. Even Millie was dumbfounded or starstruck when she saw Andrew. Andrew treats Millie kindly, and they begin to develop a close, flirtatious relationship, which apparently, if you read the book, or if you read towards the end of the book, you will realize that Nina had all of these things set up. She wanted Millie to be close with her husband. So, in one occasion, Nina wanted to watch a play or a musical, and that she asked Millie to book the tickets for this Saturday. And then when she received the tickets, Nina was like, "No, why would you book it this Saturday when I have some things going on this weekend?" And she was telling Millie that the play should be, or the tickets that she should have booked was for the next Saturday. And Millie was like, "No, you told me that it will be this Saturday." And so what happened was Nina scared her that the cost of the ticket and the reservations for the hotel eventually will be sourced out from Millie's salary. And so Millie was like, "No, why would you do that to me? I'm broke." And then Andrew, being the knight in shining armor that he was, asked that Millie should just go out with her friends and use the tickets and booking reservations, hotel reservations. And Millie actually doesn't have anyone. She was disowned by her family. She was so young when she killed someone, and so she thinks that she has no one. She basically has no one. And what happened after was that Andrew asked Millie to be with him for the play. And then eventually, that's the start of their, relationship. A relationship which was actually destined to be in doom. And now, when Nina realized that Millie and Andrew had some things sorted out for themselves. I mean, a relationship was booming. Nina was like, "Okay, this is my chance. This is my opportunity to live." So the narrative shifts now to reveal that Nina is not the true villain. So everything that she was exhibiting, the like being crazy and everything, was a play in order for her to leave her husband Andrew. Andrew, as it turns out, is a manipulative, abusive, and controlling sociopath who gaslights and physically imprisons Nina in the attic when she fails to meet his expectations. And then, what is so disturbing also in this book is that Andrew made it appear that Nina is insane. there was one time when he imprisoned Nina in the attic. After a few days, what Andrew did was he actually tried to kill Nina's daughter by submerging her in the bathtub. But then he made it appear that it was Nina who wanted the kid to die. So Nina was imprisoned in a psychological ward for 9 months. That's so sad. And she cannot do things. She cannot leave Andrew because to other people, Andrew is so perfect and that she's so insane. And that whatever happens, if there is a negative thing that happens, it's because of Nina. So when she met Millie, when she met Millie, she realizes that this girl could be the ticket for her to escape. So when she saw how much Andrew looks at Millie, she realizes that Andrew is targeting Millie as his next target. And so she used Millie to escape her, to help her escape that abusive marriage. While Millie, after a few accounts, realizes that, oh, maybe this is a nice thing. Being in love with a rich man is good. But then, when Millie was also trapped in that little attic, she realizes that, oh, it was actually Andrew who is the problem and not Nina. So the tables turned for Millie. She initially thought she's already living the dream, but then only to find out that what she's living is a nightmare. So she was locked in the attic, and then she was made to do things which, well, it's not good. It's not good to read. It's very gory. It's very, I don't know, it's very sociopath kind of thing. And then Millie actually endured a lot of those um, things that Andrew made her do. So she was able to escape the room. But then she developed a plan. You know what I like about Millie is that she's a revengeful person. So whatever is being done to her, she would also revert it back to the other person. And so she devised a way to trap Andrew in the attic. And I think the very best scene that I was able to read from the book was when Andrew was inside the attic. Millie asked him to pluck out his teeth. And so Andrew did it. Andrew plucked his teeth, which eventually lead to his death. And so when Nina felt that she should help Millie or that Millie might be in danger, when she went to the house, she soon realized that, oh, it was actually Millie who trapped Andrew in the attic and he died. And so Nina was like, okay, you can go. You can escape here. You can be whoever you want. I'll take care of the rest. So the police suspected the truth about what happened with Andrew, but is actually influenced by the family's wealth and background that it treated Andrew's death as an accident. So Nina, her daughter, and their helper, Enzo, actually the gardener, move away to start a new life, while Millie moves on to another job now equipped to help other women in abusive situations. And that is what I like about this story, is that Millie, her character is very helpful, is very, it's like a fighter. She's a fighter and she wants things under her control. You would think that she's a woman who is very slow, who is weak, but Millie has this courage, a courage that I think women should have, because sometimes in this world we are put in a situation that makes us feel that we are vulnerable, and that people thinks that we don't have this strength to face our problems, the challenges that we have. But then we should have it, that quiet strength. Every woman should have it, because we don't want to be like Nina, who eventually fell into a trap, a beautiful trap at first, but then turns out to be, gut wrenching, or a very bad dream. And The Housemaid is like that. It's a book which shows you that women empowerment is there. Although, of course, we should not kill anyone, but that it's like the essence that I'm getting out of this book. And this weekend, I was able to watch the movie version of The Housemaid. It starred Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. I think Amanda played a nice Nina, or she was able to portray Nina as to how I envisioned her to be in the book. And Millie, on the other hand, yes, I think she was able to portray, Sydney Sweeney was able to portray her good. There were just some things in the book which were not shown, or which were different from what was shown in the movie. And I guess it's because they wanted to be literally creative when it comes to the movie. And somehow it's nice. I think the production was able to show what the essence of the book actually is, despite of the differences. Um, what I think was missing with the movie, my favorite scene actually, is when Nina had a confrontation with the mother of Andrew. This was after Andrew's death, and the mother was able to find out that Andrew has no teeth, and she was like, "Girl, you did it. That's the kind of control that I wanted you to have. You should impose things whenever things didn't go their own way." And so the mother of Andrew was proud of what she thinks Nina did with Andrew, with all those teeth gone. And I think that was deleted from the movie, or it was changed from the movie, or maybe I envisioned it differently in the book, because sometimes I would think or imagine the book to be like this, and it turns out not to be like that. I don't know. Maybe it's that. So the Housemaid, all in all, both the book and the movie is a nice one to watch and read, and I hope a lot of people also try to read thrillers and psychological thriller books, just so they could find an escape like me. Escape of the reality, escape of the weight of the work, of the academic loads that we are having, and just have to think of what or who could be the villain in a particular story. And that is all for this week's episode of the Talking Capybara. Ciao!